Hey everybody, this is Games Plus James, and today we're going to take a look at a brand new series where I'm going to show you the basics of how to make a game, because I've been working on my game Portal Knights for the last while, and there's been a lot of people who've been kind of asking would I do a tutorial of some kind, so I thought, here we go, let's do it. So what we're going to do in this first little video is just get the basics of having a character on the screen that can like walk around. So I'll just press the play button here, and see, we've got this little guy who can jump up and down, and there's platforms all around him, and that's what we're going to make first. So let's get this show on the road. Basically what you need to have is Unity, which is what I'm making my game in. If you don't have Unity already, you can go to Unity2D.com, and then once it's all loaded up, go to download and just download Unity 4.6.1. It's the latest version. It's free to use, it's free to like publish games and stuff on like that, so it's all good. There is like a pro version that you have to pay for to get certain special features, but that's nothing you need to worry about for making a little 2D game like we're going to go through here. So anyway, go to Unity, and either the first time you start it, or if you click new project here, then what you do is you find a folder, you hit this browse button here, find the folder that you want to put your thing in. You can call the folder anything you want, and basically just have an empty folder wherever on your desktop or whatever place you want to put it. Select that folder there, and on this button down here, you want to set up defaults for 2D is what you want to hit there, and you don't need to have any of these other things ticked. Don't worry about any of them, and then just hit this create button here. So here we go. This is basic Unity, how things look. The windows might be set up different for you by default. Depends on, I can't remember which are the default Unity settings, but to get them to look this way, you can hit window up here, layouts, and 2x3. See? So then you get it all looking like this. And this is handy and helpful for laying things out and helping you arrange things properly. So the first thing we need to do is we need to set up some places where we're going to keep everything in our game. So in this little section here is basically where all your files and stuff will be kept. So you have a assets folder here, and if you click in this area, if you right click and click create and then folder, we're going to create a few folders here. We're going to create an art one, and as you can see it's been added here automatically. So create another one, scripts, create another one for levels, create another one for prefabs, and I'll go through what all these folders are for as we go through this little first video, and one for materials. So there we go. And before we start doing anything else in the game, the first thing we want to do is hit file and save scene. Scene is kind of equivalent to a level in Unity. So what we'll do, we'll go into our levels folder here that we just created, and we'll just call it level 1. Level 1. Okay, so the first thing we want to do also, there will be a link down below this video to this art file that I'm about to show you. Let's pop this open, see this one here. So basically you just download that and put that wherever you want on your desktop or whatever, and what you do is you just click that and drag it into the art folder. So now we go into art. Look, we have our little thing imported here, and this is going to be holding all our level objects and our character for the next few videos, but we have it here now, and that's the important thing. So as soon as you bring any kind of like bit of art into the game, you need to set it up properly. So everything in this every bit of art in there is set to a certain size, which is this pixels to unit thing is like how Unity recognizes where things are, or how Unity recognizes how big things are. So we need to set that to 16 because our characters are 16 pixels wide, and every block in that little thing is 16 pixels wide. Hit 16. Pivot, that's fine. Filter mode, we need to set this to point so we get nice looking pixels. And we need to set this to 128 because that's the size of the image. You can see it down here, 128 by 128 is the whole square. So we set that to that size. Format to true color so that it all looks proper and good. You can try changing those things around later on. You'll see like the effect that they have on your own thing, and change this to multiple. So, and then hit the apply button here. Then then the first thing we need to do then is we need to divide up that whole big massive image here into like little bits and pieces. So we hit this sprite editor button here, and as you can see, look, we've got a green dude, a red dude, we've got a block, we've got some spikes and other things that we don't need to worry about all them things yet. But right now what we're going to do is, if you scroll using your scroll wheel or whatever, you'll zoom in, and then if you right click, and you can drag things around. So hold right click, and if you go up here and left click and drag, you'll make a box around the character, and see, you let go and it'll do this little thing here. So this is going to be our player, so we're going to rename this thing here to player and hit enter, and then here is going to be our ground. So we'll make another box. As you can see, I made it a tiny bit too small, so you can just grab the corners and you can drag it up and down, and that's helpful. And then we're just going to call this ground, and then hit apply. So now what that does is it creates two little bits of art that we can use in the game. And if you hit this little arrow button beside the picture, then see, you can see there's two little things here. So what we're going to do is drag that into our game. So we'll grab him, pop him down there. Ooh, we got our little dude. We'll grab the ground, pop that down there, and we've got some ground. So look, it's already looking like a game. We've got a character, we've got something for him to walk on, but we need him to actually do some stuff. And at the moment, if we hit play on the game, nothing happens. See, they just both float there. There's nothing going on. We need more than that happening. It's not a very interesting game if it's just like that. So go back out of that, and then what we're going to do is select the ground and press this add component button, and I'm just going to delete that bit there. And we want to add a collider to the box so that things can bounce off each other and bang against each other and all that fun stuff. So if we go to Physics2D and then Box Collider 2D, if we zoom in on this guy here, you can zoom in and out with the scroll wheel, and you can use the right click again to drag the view around the place. So if we zoom in, it's kind of hard to see, but there's now a green outline around this box, and that means that it has a collider around it. And then if we do the same on, if we click on player here, so we have them selected, and then we do the same thing, except we're not going to add a box collider. This time we're going to go Physics2D and add a circle collider so that he can interact with the world. And we want to make this a little bit smaller. Just from me messing around, I know that you have to make it 3.365 is the size you want to make that, right? And then you also want to add to this guy a thing called, you need to go Physics2D again and add a rigid body 2D. And this basically gives him like gravity and stuff like that. As you can see here, gravity, scale, mass, and all this stuff. Again, stuff you can fiddle around with and mess with all you want. But what's important here is to hit fixed angle and make sure that has a tick on it. So that'll make him always stay standing upright. He won't fall over or roll away, which is not what we want to happen. But now if we hit the play button, ta-da, he falls down. Of course he doesn't move or anything because we haven't done anything into the game for that yet, but if you click up here and drag him up in the air, he'll fall down like a real little person. You can drag him over here and oh no, he falls forever. And then we hit unplay. I don't know what unplay means. You stop the game. So this isn't very exciting. Obviously we need somewhere for the player to run around, so we'll make a few little bits of ground here will be helpful. So if you hit the ground thing, and if you click on this little blue box here, you can drag this around to wherever you want. So we'll just put it there, say. And then if you click back on here, so this is highlighted blue, and if you hit Control and D, it'll create an exact duplicate of the same object again. And then if you hold Control and then click on this red arrow, it'll move it along in little blocks. It'll move along at the exact width of each block, because we set the pixel thing to be 16 for one unit. It'll move one whole unit every time. If you didn't hold Control, it'd be a lot smoother kind of moving, but it's harder to line it up properly. So if you just hold Control and create that one, and we'll do that a few times. So Control and D, then hold Control and drag, Control and D, hold Control and drag, Control and D, and then also we can grab, if we click one and then hold Shift, and it'll select a big group of them, and we'll do the same thing again, Control and D, and then Control and drag. So look, now we've got a little bit of ground. Let's well, if you click and drag as well, you can also select multiple ones. So again, Control and D, we'll drag it over there, and we'll drag it up one. We'll do Control and D again. We'll make a little, oh, I shouldn't have done that. We'll make it go like this. You can press Control and Z to undo things, the same as you can with any other program in the whole world, really. And we'll click do again, and we'll drag it over here and down. So there we go. We got a little bit of a ground to work on here now. So now we've got a little bit of an environment for our player, but he doesn't control anything. He doesn't do anything. We've no interactions in the world. So we're going to do a little bit of scripting and writing some code. Now I'm going to keep this super simple and super easy because I'm not here to teach you all about programming. There's a million different ways to learn programming out there, but we'll cover like super basic things. So, sorry, I went ahead and clicked on this thing. I shouldn't have done that. Delete that. That took a while to delete. So, what we do is we'll, back in our assets thing over here, we'll click on the script folder because we want to keep everything nicely organized. And click on the area beside that. You right click on that and hit create C# script. C# is a type of programming language. You can use different languages in Unity, but C# is the one that I use, and the one that I know, and the one that's kind of the most powerful and helpful. So we're going to rename this to player controller, and then hit enter, and then double click on that to open it, and it'll just take a couple of seconds to open up. And then you get this. This is Mono Develop, which is a program that comes with Unity. You can use other things to edit as well, but this is the default thing, so we're going to use this here. So basically, you don't really need to worry about what all this stuff does, all this stuff up here and all this stuff here. But we've got these two little things here called void start and void update. And basically they're like the order of the way things happen in the game. Start is something that happens the exact moment that the level loads or the character is created or whatever. And then update happens every single frame. So like there could be between 30 to 60 frames per second, and that means this little, whatever you put between this bracket, these two brackets here, will happen 30 or 60 times a second, whatever you want to imagine in the whole world. But so what we want to do is create movement for our character. We want him to be able to move left to right, and we want him to be able to jump up in the air. So the first thing we'll do is go up here above